Hey guys, it's Mel and I'm back with another Comic-Con 2015 video, this time for Arrow and its Season 4 spoilers that were revealed at said convention. The official panel happened July 11th, 2015, and it was maybe a 20-minute panel because of the fact that it happened on Superhero Night, which was 3 hours that was dedicated to basically all the superhero shows that were going on. So Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Gotham, what else? Supergirl, Vixen. They had to fit all the panels and the video presentations for all those shows in 3 hours. So it's understandable why the panel only got 20 minutes of Q&A. But those present are Stephen Amell, Oliver, Emily Bett-Rickards, who's Felicity, David Ramsey, which is Diggle, Katie Cassidy, which is Laurel, Willa Holland, which is Thea, John Barrowman, which is Malcolm, Paul Blackthorne, which is Captain Lance, and then you have behind the scene people, Jeff Johns, Greg Berlanti, Wendy Miracle, Mark Guggenheim, and Andrew Kreisberg, all for the panel. And so I'm going to touch upon the Season 4 aspects they brought up in that panel. I'll also talk about this sizzle trailer that they released. Also the Q&A that they did for the CW, and anything they talked about to TVLine in that interview. I'll be talking about that. And then I'll actually do a very quick skim over the first trailer for episode 401. So, and I'll do all that in 10 minutes, hopefully. So, let me start the timer and let's get started. So, with the sizzle trailer, basically, since at the time of July 11th, the cast had not started shooting yet for Season 4. So, basically, the trailer was all old footage, but it was edited to recap Season 3, basing on Oliver's journey against Ra's al Ghul. So, basically, you see his struggles against the former League of Assassins and how he got from point A to point B, I guess you could say. And you also see bits of Olicity and how Oliver struggled with his feelings for her while not being able to be with her because he was still fighting with Ra's al Ghul, his near-death experiences and stuff like that. And we also got to see them ride off into the sunset together to start their vacation with the League of Assassins in the hands of Malcolm. So it's all old footage there, but it's a great re-editing of the season. And if you need a refresher, it's a great video to watch. So onto the panel. Most of it was about the costumes, vigilante costumes, and it was always connected to that theme in some form, whether it's asking the actors what they felt putting the suit on, and what was it like putting it on for the first time, what was it like to actually be able to be at that point for their characters. So it's just stuff like that. But good news, Diggle finally gets his own vigilante outfit. He gets his mask in Season 4, and it's more like a helmet, but it's a long time coming for him, because the way I see it, if one person on the team has their identity revealed, it's not that hard to figure out who else they are connected to. And if Diggle's always running around without a mask or any way to keep his identity secret, then it's not going to take that long for someone to connect the dots that a group of his buddies are actually part of the vigilante team. So it's great to see that he finally has an outfit for himself. And Oliver gets an upgrade in regards to his outfit, and apparently the upgrade is supposed to express what Oliver is supposed to become as opposed to who he is at the moment. So every upgrade is supposed to lead him towards, I guess, the final Green Arrow version that's in the comics. So it's always great to see an upgrade to the suit, but so for this time, the sleeves are gone for Oliver. And while I love to see muscle, I mean, who doesn't? But like, logically, I don't get how that's better. I mean, personally, if I was a vigilante, I'd want as much of my skin to be covered as possible. That way, if I get nicked or if I get hit with something and I start bleeding, at least then the fabric will catch the blood, as opposed to my open skin bleeding out and then my blood easily being left behind. Or if someone was trying to inject me with something in a fight with like a syringe or something, like Felicity did with Slade, if I had material covering my skin, it's a lot harder for them to stick me with a syringe than it is to have open skin and stick me with something. So, like, if that makes sense, sorry for the ramble, but that's the only logical thing I have an issue with the suit. Otherwise, it looks fantastic. It's great upgrade. It looks like he has a few more gadgets added to it, so it's great. They brought up the season 4 vibe, and basically it's meant again for Oliver's journey, but this time the side we're seeing to him is the fact that he's happy and that he is actually in a relationship with Felicity. He's not just like having a on again off again thing, or he's going after an old flame, or he's doing some downward spiral with the relationship, or he's alone. We actually get to see Oliver being happy with Felicity, and then we also have to see him struggle with balancing that out with being the Green Arrow, because before he said he couldn't be one, he couldn't be both, he had to be one or the other. So there's that. We also get the introduction of new villain Damien Dark, but it said that he is not the only villain this season, so it'd be very interesting to see just how he differs from the previous villains and what makes him so dangerous. Other characters we get to see are Anarchy from Batman. He will join Damien, so he's anti-Arrow team. And then with these new characters, we're going to see a lot of origin stories, which I always love to see how they're all just regular people and then certain things happen to them that turn them into the heroes or the villains that they are. So that's great. And then we also get to meet Mr. Terrific, the first openly gay character on the show, and he is going to be working with Felicity. So, and they become friends. So it'll be great to see how that friendship unfolds and to see how or why he becomes Mr. Fantastic or Mr. Terrific. Sorry, I'm thinking of from Fantastic Four, my bad. It's Mr. Terrific. Let's see what else. It was asked if Captain Lance considered himself as part of Team Arrow, and Paul Blackthorne said that he never officially considered himself part of the team, but apparently he aligns himself with Team minus Arrow, I think that's what I got, but that was briefly touched upon. Then they went into the fan questions, but none of that was season 4 related. So I'm going to get to the CW Q&As that they did. One was, where do we start off with season 4? And apparently there's a 5-month time jump. So basically it's the same amount of time we've had to wait is basically the amount of time that's happened for them. So basically it's their summer, basically. And things may have gotten worse. And apparently Starling City is renamed to Star City in memory of Ray Palmer, who apparently they think is dead. And while that's a sweet sentiment, I really don't get why they would rename a city. Don't know. Guess it's to try to give them a clean slate with all the bad things connected to it in the past. So, also, a question that was asked was, because of Flash being part of the Arrow universe and there's time traveling on the Flash, are there any surreal themes that are going to be added to Arrow Season 4? And Mark Guggenheim said that the concept of magic will be introduced to the show, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be through Damien Dark. And it'll be very interesting to see how that happens, or why that happens, or why that's being allowed to happen now. So that'd be great. So, TVLine interview. You get a lot of stuff about Season 4 with this interview. One was going into detail about Damien Dark. Wendy Miracle said that Damien has no morality. He's pure evil. Whereas before Malcolm and Slade and Rishigal all lived by a code Damien Dark does not have a code whatsoever. He's like pure evil. He's basically out there to do bad things. So that's a scary thought. And Stephen Amell actually mentioned that for the first time, their big bad, which in this case is meant to be Damien Dark. Don't know if they're trying to lead us off somewhere, but basically before they never introduced their big bad in the premiere. It's always taken the first 9 episodes to build up to that introduction. Like, we didn't know until the middle of the season that Malcolm was the big bad, or that Slade was the present big bad, or that Ra's al Ghul was the big bad. But instead, this season, we actually meet Damien Dark in the premiere, so that's going to be very interesting. And in regards to the Olicity road trip, we do get a sneak peek of it, maybe flashbacks of a different kind. Maybe, I don't know, or they were going to talk about it, don't know. They just said they're going to be sneak peeks. Emily Bett Rickard said there are going to be hints of where Oliver and Felicity went on their trip together. But when the premiere starts, they will be settled somewhere. That's what Steven puts in. They're going to be settled somewhere. So, based on the trailers, you have a pretty good idea, but I'll go into that afterwards. Or I'll go into that now, actually, because that's it for the interview. In the first premiere trailer, we get a domestic side to Olicity. We get Oliver running around his neighborhood block. We have Felicity trying to cook, and it's a very cool side to see from them. It's definitely a nice change as opposed to them being in life and death situations and stuff like that. We do get Star City being dedicated to the name change because Ray, who died, don't know why they think he's dead. And there goes the timer. Hold on. Okay. Just rushing through this. Okay, we get Diggle having a mask, Thea being Speedy with Roy's Arsenal outfit. We get Laurel on a motorcycle. We have new assassins in town that are well trained and who Team Arrow are calling ghosts. We have Constantine making an appearance, which I thought is great to have him coming in and basically put himself in this universe. So that could be great. If that's the case, he could pop over to The Flash at some point. He could pop over to Legends of Tomorrow at some point. Who knows? I just hope that it's more than one episode that we see Constantine in. I also mentioned before, Felicity's new partner, Mr. Terrific, aka Curtis Holt, is going to join the show, and you see him a few times whenever Felicity is at Palmer Tech. So I'm interested to see their dynamic. We also see Damien Dark establishing that he is all for order and discipline, while another enemy is all for chaos. I'm assuming that's anarchy, but we do see him. And we see Oliver and Diggle at odds, which will be tough to see. We see Thea showing side effects to being resurrected from the Lazarus pit. And I think because of that, we see her fighting with Oliver, both decked out in their vigilante outfits. We see Malcolm and Nisa fighting in Nanda Parbat, probably for the role of leadership or whatever. It will be interesting to see when that happens. We see Sarah being resurrected by the Lazarus pit. I mean, I know she's alive in Legends of Tomorrow, but since Legends of Tomorrow doesn't air until after the new year, it'd be interesting to know when in Arrow Sarah would be resurrected, or even if she would have been resurrected in Arrow at all. But it's great to see that she will be on Arrow. And again, new Arrow outfit in action, and we get to see a badass Felicity making her own punches, doing her own kicks, and holding a gun, although possibly with her eyes closed, but that's not really a good technique, but it's still badass Felicity. So I'm excited to see the premiere this Wednesday, October 7th at 8 o'clock p.m. on the CW. And, well, what did you guys think? Very sorry for this late video, but I'd rather do it now than not do it at all, right? I'll keep working on it for sure. Next videos would definitely be on time. But what do you guys think? Are you stoked for the new season? What do you think about Damien Dark? What do you think about Oliver and Felicity? And do you think them coming back to town is going to change whatever dynamic the team minus Arrow have grown without them over the last 5 months? Anything that you're looking forward to? Your own predictions, your own thoughts, anything at all about season 4? I would love to hear about it. Just leave a comment below, and we'll see if we have some things in common, or if you've opened my eyes to some things and maybe I've opened your eyes to some as well. So until next time, or I guess until Wednesday, until the premiere, check out my other videos in case you have the time. I know you guys can be busy, and I truly appreciate that you're even listening to this right now. But if not, check out my videos, subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video with your other Arrow fan friends, and don't forget to tune in, because I will definitely be back either a few hours after Arrow episode premiere or the day after it premiered. I'll definitely post my video for it. So until then, enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Bye.